Thanks for staying with us. So last week, a video surfaced online generating widespread attention on social media. The viral clip showed a student of Nnamdi Azikiwe University assaulting Chukwudi Okoye, a lecturer, for disrupting a TikTok video. Now, the management of the school has expelled Precious, stating that the university disciplinary committee found her guilty of assault on the lecturer. Consequently, the acting vice chancellor has, on behalf of the university senate, approved the committee's recommendation that the expulsion takes immediate effect. Now, another video surfaced on social media where the sub provided another angle, and there was this particular, I think she's a foreign news person who was saying that, believing social, her name is Mputu Pius, and she posted something on her page talking about the fact that she had the video showing that the lecturer was the one that initially assaulted the young lady, and saying that, obviously implying that the fact that she was being expelled was obviously too harsh. So what are your thoughts on this? Well, I mean, that's the conversation today. We all see the various angles. We're thinking, okay, how could this have been handled better? Let me come to the ladies. I mean, you guys have seen the videos. Do you think Expelling her was a bit too draconian? Like throwing away the baby with the bathwater? Because this is a student and this is a lecturer. We saw the videos. Depending on which video you've seen, I suppose many of them are saying, oh, the lecturer assaulted. Others are saying, no, she was the one that, according to his own, excuse me, to his own claim, he said that she used some kind of, she said something to him, and that's what made him turn back to find out if this student was his. What are your thoughts on this?
We've not seen an investigation so fast before. I think everything went so like that, you know. We all went to school. We went to proper schools where, you know, investigations, for some people say, till I finished 4 years, they were still before the Senate on certain, you know, misdoings in school. And you have your day. That fair hearing, some people come with their lawyers. I think that this was the swiftest I have seen in my entire life. I don't think that this girl was given proper time to prepare. And I think if she had a case, she lost it. You know, so just because one person has alleged something and a lot of people had said they witnessed it, does not make it right. Recently, I experienced something personal to myself. And an adult was alleging something about my child. And my child had accused that, no, this was what happened. And I asked him for entire 3 days, including calling Miriam to talk to him. 3 days back, this boy didn't change his account. But the adult's account had changed to me several times. And then she brought the entire group of children as a witness. What was I supposed to say? And they were all saying the same thing. What was I supposed to say? You know, so I've insisted that a video evidence be obtained because he is not changing his account. And if you don't do that for your child, 3 things: you teach your child to lie, you teach your child to not stand up for themselves, you teach your child to be bullied by a crowd, because if a group of people and you have your truth, you will never say it. That's number one. So I believe that this girl's truth has not even been investigated. She's insisting. Now, we don't have that video directly that this lecturer had grouped her. Going to school, if they group you as a woman, God help you that you have evidence. It's difficult to establish against a lecturer because the advantage of position is not something that is obtainable to everybody. Now, she insisted she was grouped, and what she showed in the video and what the lecturer is saying is not the same. He tapped her, and then he walked away. Yeah. And so even if she made a comment, she wasn't talking to him. He looked as if he was moving fast off the video. And then she turned to a friend and said, imagine that. And that was where the initial video ended, before we now saw all the records and everybody dragging clothes, dragging this and that. So he is saying that she said something. She's saying that, you know, those were not open to the public. And I would really like, when people see things, to calm down. The first video, I just kept thinking, what could make this girl like this? We were girls. I was an aggressive young girl. If you touch me anyhow, even before I started wearing the hijab, I know how I used to react. So waiting for they prompt this girl's reaction. I kept looking in the, wait, I want to drop something. I kept looking in the video over and over again. And I wished everybody would wear those shoes when we start to judge. Because I now saw people lauding the lecturer's pedigree as, you know, being in fact, it was holier than God himself in this entire thing. And saying he would never have. Number one, somebody did a video, an elderly man did a video saying, it's not proper to touch. I completely agreed. because I remember people insisting, oh, you're covered. They will touch you by force. Some people will see you, you're standing, they will come and hug you. Coming into a person's personal space is an assault, whether you like it or not. Until the person permits you, there's that familiarity. You're overdoing it when you do he could have passed her while she was doing the video. The taps itself look as if they were friendly. He could have walked past the video. He could have said to her, stop that video there, because his authority. Why are you making a video in the faculty? Take your cameras out of there. I went to school. Get out of this place. You know, he could have avoided her or used his authority to address it, or mind his business and pass. Okay. But no, he chose to tap her into her video as if they were friends, and then suddenly she's a wicked girl. Yeah.
Okay, let me take care of thoughts on this.
Yeah, so for me, the very first clip I saw, and based on that short clip, which looked like he had tapped her and walked away, and then it looked like she was attacking him because he had asked for the phone. Based on that clip, that's what it looked like. Like she tapped him, he tapped her, walked away. She looked like she said something. Whatever she said was enough to bring him back. And then the next thing is the video where it looked like, you know, they were struggling, and the commentary was that he was asking for her phone and she was refusing to hand over the phone. And for me, based on that, it seemed like she was disrespectful. For me, it came across as being disrespectful. Now, should she have been expelled? Based on that clip and that version of the story, I do not think that the school did anything wrong in expelling her. Now, I feel that it was done hastily though. I feel that because being in school, we know usually when you go before the Senate, it's like going before the court, going before jury. You stay, it's a long drawn out case where you also present your case and try to defend yourself. I feel that this situation may have been swayed by public outcry and everyone putting their mouth. Now, yesterday, and also hearing another version, people were saying, no, there's a different version of this story, or there's a different angle to the video which shows him grabbing her. Now, you know, I'm thinking he grabbed her, she's grabbing him and she's biting him. It's still, for me, it still showed that she was disrespectful. And the disrespect started from allegedly what she may have said to him when he asked her to stop the video. I don't know what is wrong in telling a student, please, can you stop the video, because he felt that he was going to be in it, right? What was it that she said to him? Could she have said something disrespectful to him that made him turn back? So for me, unless we are able to hear both sides of the story. So for me, at first, I had a very strong position. She did something wrong, she was disrespectful, and she deserved to be punished, especially with the way it just became, you know, so violent like that. But given this second part, when I'm human, I'm thinking, okay, it's best to always give people the benefit of the doubt. So I would really like if we could, dwell on that side as well.
Okay. PC, your initial thoughts on this?
When I saw the video, I just felt, who is this girl? What sort of training did this girl have? Because what I saw in that video was that she was doing a TikTok video blocking a corridor, and the lecturer had to pass and then tapped, excuse me, and passed before walking back. Now, you're doing a TikTok video in school and you're in a position where people, because I saw people passing, people are passing that place. That is not a place for you to do a video. That's the first thing. Except it was an assignment that was given to you that you have to stay in that environment to do a video. You could have gone where nobody would pass and disturb you and do a video. And the tapping, I didn't see anything wrong in tapping. Men in this part of the world are very touchy. It's now we're beginning to educate them that instead of you to touch, you use your hands. They don't see it as anything. You pass, they touch, they want to tell you something, they tap you, they want to do something. We are here every day here on set, getting ready to be on the show, and then people are coming to set up the camera or set up the mics. They tap you, they touch you. Men around are touchy and tappy does not mean that they have ulterior motive. Now, when you say that you were groped, I want to believe it was not that incident and it was not that day, because from that tapping and moving on, there's no groping there. Except, of course, you are bringing maybe another incident that had happened with the said lecturer on another day, and maybe that was why you reacted the way you reacted. But from what we saw on that video, that girl was very, very disrespectful. I went to the university. We have lecturers. We know how we talk to our lecturers, right? Now, you went forward after they said, whether he came back to say, I wanted to have, can I have a look at the phone? And you refused to give the phone. And before you knew it, according to his own version, he said he had to drag the phone when she refused. And then you unleash yourself. You scattered yourself on your lecturer and started biting and started screaming. That video was, I felt so ashamed of that girl in that video. And also, I will also say here that even the lecturer dragging the phone was also a problem for me, because we have been telling people, let me give you a quick example. In Lagos, for instance, we see how police people or LASMA jump into vehicles, and we say, no, find a way to use technology to find these people. You can always trace them. You can always give them their ticket. You don't need to be jumping in. Many people have died. Many LASMA officials have died trying to jump into cars. Many have been hit by those crazy bus drivers. There are civil ways of doing things. And this is a conversation we are having now. So I would have thought that the lecturer would find a way to get her name, get her department, you know, and follow up on that instead of insisting and dragging that phone. That is what I see that the lecturer had done wrong. But the way she unleashed herself like a lioness, you're fighting the man, seeing, giving bites, I beg.
Let me go on a very short break. When we come back, we continue this conversation. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.